They did beat the Rams. That was that big game. They beat the Rams in the regular season last year, 38-21. So they were competitive against the Rams for some reason. Yeah, that's their big one. Nothing else really stands out.
All right,
Packers and the Rams.
They picked up Kenny Pickett. They're going to let him be a backup for a year.
Okay.
Jalen Phillips and Nick Hampton, pass rushers. A.J. Dillon, running back. So he was pretty good with the Packers, but he just couldn't stay healthy. And now he's got to be. His big thing was he had a bigger workload in college than like almost any running back, and they were just wondering if it was just going to wear him down. And it almost seems like I don't remember him playing much at all last year. It seemed like he was always hurt.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
I mean, the question is, I think again, quarterback. Their quarterback, number one pick, an atypical size for a quarterback in the modern NFL, hasn't really done it. Hasn't really had any sort of sustained success. And, again, I guess if you're looking at a loss last year in the playoffs as some sort of indicator of success, maybe, but just a big question mark there. And then the coach, was an offensive guru guy, did something great with Baker Mayfield for one season in Tampa, got a head coaching job. There's a pattern there. But I don't know. Do you love the Panthers?
As my favorite animal? Well, I'm wearing their colors.
Well, okay. Yes. Definitely cool animal, for sure. But as a football team, an American football team.
Yeah, I don't know. They lost Andy Dalton, so how good can they be? So their big thing last year, a big part of their success was kind of the two-headed monster at running back. They had Chuba and Dowdle. So Dowdle, I'm just learning now, went to the Steelers. So he's gone. I don't know.
This game's kind of dumb. Why do you replace some guy? He had almost over 200 yards in a game, didn't he? Why replace him with A.J. Dillon? Why not just sign his butt?
So when
Make
he
that
do this thing, it's almost like a sell high to me. Like maybe they saw some things where they were like, okay, our offensive line was a lot better than people thought, and like anyone could run through those holes. Both of our running backs were good, so let's let them trade for him or whatever. And
they didn't trade
whatever. That's true.
Or
just let him go because we're not going to pay him what he thinks he's worth.
That's fair. It sounds to me like that was football stupid. I agree with your reasoning completely, right? Some dum-dum looks at what they have and goes, I understand it well enough to make good decisions. And they don't.
Right.
They do not.
I'll say this, Rico Dowdle probably has as much talent as 98% of the running backs in the league. He's dynamic. He can do it all. So it's not like the Steelers are getting a bad running back or maybe he's just not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the season plays out, I guess.
I mean, we're not talking about the Steelers yet, but that is an interesting combination. Old coach, old quarterback, big bruising running back on the Steelers.
Is Dowdle a bruiser? I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm guessing. Just based on the numbers he put up last year.
All right. We got time. Let's do Rico Dowdle. Wait.
215, 5'11".
5'11", 215.
Big for a running back.
All right. There you have it. Okay. So
I was right. Such a good guess.
What are the Panthers going to be this year?
7-9? Or 8-9?
Yeah. I don't know what to think. I think the more I think about it, any one of these teams could probably be 5 wins or 11 wins. If they, I don't know, if they play as well as they can. None of these teams in this division are supposed to be awful, but I don't know. None of these teams are supposed to contend for a Super Bowl either. So,
is this the division with the most consistency among teams? Not saying good or bad, but is this the division that has the teams sort of centered around the same level of quality? They're a division that has,
I don't know, I would say the NFC North, right?
Fair. I
They
mean,
don't.
certainly
They,
by record last year, that's true.
I don't know that there's a clear NFC North team where you'd say like, oh no, they're definitely
Going to run away with it. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so I would say that division. I'd say the North has the same floor and the higher ceiling for their collective teams, and yeah, so the floor of the South is maybe about there, but I don't know. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I mean, like the Panthers snuck into the playoffs, the Bucks underperformed, the Falcons have a new coach and a new quarterback, and the Saints. We're all like excited about a Saints team that won like 5 or 6 games. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's misplaced.
Well, but the point about the Saints, though, they were going to be a really shitty team, and then they seem to have found a quarterback that worked for them, and he's young, so maybe there is some magic there, but it just does feel a little shaky all the way around in this division.
Yeah. All right,
the Bucks.
We're going to talk about the Buccaneers. All right. Key additions. Alex Anzalone. That's interesting. From the Lions. Okay. Gainwell from the Eagles? Kenneth Gainwell, I think. Jake Browning. Look out. You need a third string quarterback. Jake Browning's your guy. All right. Who did they lose? Oh, yeah. Mike Evans. That's obviously huge. Yep. Went to the Niners. Levante David was a great linebacker for a long time. Announced his retirement, so he's out. They have a lot of receivers. So Sterling Shepard left. So Evans and Shepard are gone, but they drafted. Who was their rookie last year that was pretty good? Well, I'm going to do this because they lost 2 receivers. Let's see what their depth chart looks like. All right. So Emeka Ibuka was, I think it was a rookie last year. Chris Godwin, when healthy, is a very solid number 2. And then Jalen McMillan, they drafted 2 or 3 years ago. And he had quite a few injuries last year too, but same thing. Like when he's healthy, he showed plenty. I don't know. Like that's 3 pretty good receivers. I could see kind of why they moved on. Although it didn't seem like Evans would just like retire there. Like he was there.
I mean, there were some questions and suspect. Like he's older. He's got a Super Bowl ring. I think Ibuka was like he was on making a case for like being the best receiver. Certainly maybe the best rookie receiver, and then he got hurt, and the whole thing just slowed down. And then for the first 6 weeks of the season, Baker Mayfield looked like he was going to be the MVP. Like there was a lot of talk of that. He looked great, and then they just fell apart.
He was like, did you hear what came out about it?
No,
he had like
shoulder surgery or shoulder issues or something.
A bad injury. Like there's no reason he should have been playing. I'm like,
oh really? I didn't hear that. Yeah, I mean, based on how his sort of play sort of nosedived. So what is the prognosis? Has he recovered? Is it like where is he at?
He's healthy.
He's also getting older, but he's got to be in his early 30s at this point. And he's no longer young.
He's healthy now. Fully recovered from the extensive list of bumps, bruises, and joint sprains he played through last season.
I mean, he's a good when he's on. He's a great quarterback. He's fun to watch. He's dynamic. He can move a little bit. He can throw the ball. He can throw the ball on the move.
So he had a sprained MCL and PCL from week 2 that never fully healed during the season. A bicep contusion
and a shoulder injury
and an AC joint sprain. So yeah, I mean he was basically playing through a lot. All right, so what's your pick to win this lovely division?
All right, so if I'm going by the measure of QB coach, I think if I'm putting it at the bottom, I'm going to put the Falcons at the bottom just because I don't like their QB situation. I think the coach is probably pretty good. Next, I'm going to put the Panthers because I don't like that QB situation. Then I'm going to go with the Saints because we're just not sure about more as a head coach, and then the QB is still relatively untested. Then I'll put the Bucs at the top just because I think Baker's probably the best QB of the bunch based on recent history. Todd Bowles I don't like as much as a coach, but he's been coaching forever, a couple of different places. I still don't think that means that they're going to win the division. I think they'll probably all be around 8 and 9. If one of them gets to 9 and 8, that's probably the division crown. And I still don't think they win a playoff game, whoever comes out of this division. So that's what I think.
I sort of think the Bucs will win the division too. Just they didn't last year. They feel like they're the best team year in and year out.
I mean, they probably were if Baker was healthy. They probably do win that.
Right. So that's fair. But I also, again, I won't be surprised if any one of these teams is at the top of the division at the end. Yep. With like a weird 3-team tiebreaker situation, just like last year, where no one knows who actually deserves to win the division.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got for that
division.
Let's go to the NFC East. Let's start with the Eagles.
No.
Eagles additions, departures. I'm glad they knew what I was talking about, not just like bald eagles or anything like that. Okay. They signed Reek Woolen, Hollywood Brown, Dallas Goddard, got a 1-year deal to come back. And they will.
Speaking of Andy Dalton, huh?
Yeah, Andy Dalton.
Wait a minute. Acquired in trade.
Oh, yeah.
They traded for Andy Dalton.
For a couple of cupcakes and a turkey sandwich.
Why? Why trade for Andy? Just get any. Why? Why?
Yeah, because I guess he still has the ability. Like if your quarterback's out 1 or 2 weeks, he can come in and you actually feel like you can win the game rather than putting some dude who like is unproven rookie who like isn't ready that you got in the 7th round. I don't know.
It's a move that speaks of confidence that is underlined by great stupidity. That's a dumb move. Trade for Andy Dalton? No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't care for whatever reason. I'd rather have Jalen Hurts out there with 2 broken feet.
But how are you going to replace Sam Howell? He signed with Cowboys.
I don't know. Pick up the next person who has a vaguely similar name and also plays QB. Get Jam Dowell. He would be better than Andy Dalton.
We should do a bit on that.
We should have more bits. We don't have enough bits.
Okay, we'll start thinking about
we bits. Will. Definitely. All the bits.
Right. I always forget from year to year what the Eagles did because they like contend for a Super Bowl and then they forget how to play football.
That's right.
What was last year?
They made the playoffs, but then they got crushed by crushed. They lost to the Niners, I think, in the opening round. They hate their coach. Their coach and their QB hate each other. And then they can't figure out the OC, even though the head coach is an offensive guy, which is just like, what the hell's going on there? Because they fired their OC. Right? Wasn't that last year? Or was that the year before?
No, they did. Their OC was like very, very.
They hate it.
Almost just like completely predictable.
Yes, that was the biggest complaint, I guess. But like, so, I don't know. I think that is that's the biggest question with this team. It's not a question of talent. The GM, like Howie Roseman, is he the best GM in the league? Maybe he's got to be up there, top 3 for sure. So year in and year out, they're putting together a team that should be a Super Bowl contender and has been. But then they do stupid shit and they fall apart. And so I don't know, man. This feels to me like the season where the wheels fucking come off, and it's like they're gonna jettison another Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yeah,
which is what they like to do.
I don't know what to. I like find myself cheering against the Eagles a lot, so I kind of want them to be bad.
Yep.
I think it would be really comical to me if they had another they had a bad year this year, and like the whole ship just blows up. Like, Hurts is demanding a trade, Sirianni gets fired, and like it's just like I don't. They've had enough success. Like, let's be done with the Eagles for a while.
Here we go. We should Over under on the number of games it takes for Sirianni to start yelling at the crowd directly. I'll put it at 5 games.
5 games? I don't know. I would say it could have easily happened with 1.
I know it. Yeah, well, that's what. Yes, because he's a frustrating man who takes his frustrations out on the crowd because it's their fault.
Under for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Under.
We don't need to get to this now, but it's always fun to guess the first head coach fired.
Oh man, there's at least 5 or 6.
Well, let's just do this real quick.
Yeah.
Which coaches at the end of last year were we thought maybe they were going to get fired last year? I would say it was Bowles and LaFleur.
Thank you. Yep. Then that one's mind-boggling, LaFleur. But yes, I agree. There are a lot of people who think he needs to go, which again I don't understand. But
and then I don't know if this would be crazy, but if the Patriots are like 1-6, are they just like, all right, Vrabel, like
there's no way
you don't know what you're doing anymore. You're a mess.
There's no. First of all, I don't think there's any way that Vrabel goes 1-6. But even if they did, he would have no way. There's no way they let him walk.
All right, we'll have to think about that more. I'm struggling thinking about.
Well,
was maybe
Jets head coach. There's no reason they kept him. Aaron Glenn.
After 1 year.
I mean, it's been happening, but think about what a shitty year that was. And it was his idea to let's put Justin Fields in charge of things. That was a huge, dumb mistake.
I think they won like 3 games, though. It's pretty
good. For the whole season, not to start. I don't think they won 3. I don't remember the last time they won 3 games in a row, period.
No, really, though. It's probably been years since that's happened. Well, I don't know. Like, did Rodgers do it that 1 year?
No, remember, because he got in. No, well, Swisher got injured and then he came back. No, they were bad. I don't know. 3 games in a row? I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. So where are you landing on the Eagles? I said what I would like to happen.
I mean, it's just Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Redskins. Are they the best team in that division still? Yes, I think so. I still think they can. Can that team win 10 games? I think so. Can 10 games get them to the playoffs? Yes. Is there a team in that division that's going to win more than 10 games? I don't. You see a 12-win team in that division? This division? I don't.
Well, I don't know. So the Commanders had a down year, but the year before they almost made the Super Bowl.
That's right.
The Cowboys had an incredible year offensively last year, but was last year when their defense was awful and they
because they jettisoned Micah Parsons at the beginning of the season.
They scored 35 and gave up 40 every game.
Yep.
So if the Cowboys can clean up the defense and the offense stays the same, you can make a case. The Eagles, you can always make a case. Commanders, last year was just kind of one of those, what the heck happened? Everyone got hurt.
There's another coach on the hot seat. What's his nuts? And
Quinn?
Yeah, Dan Quinn.
Yeah, probably, especially since it's his second gig. But
yeah.
And then the Giants, I don't know what, Harbaugh's obviously had success, and then a lot of people like Dart's trajectory. So I don't know, there's not a team where I'm like, oh yeah, they're absolutely definitely going to be terrible, but
there's some stinkiness coming out of the Giants training camp where Jackson Dart is concerned. Ben Solak from ESPN said he didn't look good. But but I mean, preseason just started, so I don't think that means much. But
all right, that'd be okay with me. I'm not a big Jackson Dart guy, so
nope.
The key for them is going to be how many concussions. If he can hold it under 6.5 concussions, they'll be better off. He just puts his head down and tries to run everyone over.
I mean, I don't want my quarterback doing that, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's what Cam Scadaboo is for. And seems to be what he's good at, running into things. At blinding speed. They are. Yeah. Just let's put our helmets on and run into stuff. My issue, I think we talked about this. I don't know if it was on the pod or not, but I don't know about John Harbaugh. I feel like that was not the greatest choice.
Doesn't seem like the right fit to me. I think he's a good coach, but I was like, Giants, interesting.
Yeah, well, it just comes up to just too down to understanding, right? I get it. You can be the disciplined guy. You can get the team He seems like a George McClellan. Sorry to throw a Civil War reference out at everybody. He seems like George McClellan. He had the big army. He had an overwhelming advantage, statistically speaking. He used to commit to anything and just turtled, and he just couldn't get it done. And it's just John Harbaugh. Just seems like he can get the army ready, he can get the team ready, but in terms of tactical execution, maybe not. Maybe can't survive in the way the modern NFL wants to run itself. And that's I think my biggest issue with Harbaugh, and why I think maybe they're not going to be so good. And then when you've got young talent that seems ready to pop, and the team doesn't pop around them, the recipe for disaster.
Yeah. So I don't know. They might be terrible. They might, if things do come together, they could be good.
It seems like volatile. You know what I mean? It's just like we're going to have a lot of questions. And then because Harbaugh coming off where he came from with especially if Baltimore's good, right? If Baltimore is on this meteoric trajectory and the Giants are stalling, there's just going to be a lot of questions. And those press conferences are going to be really uncomfortable for Harbaugh.
Yeah. So we jumped into the Giants. Let's look at who they picked up and who they lost. So they signed John Harbaugh, Tremaine Edmonds they got from the Bears, Darnell Mooney, drafted a few guys. They traded Dexter Lawrence. That was kind of a head scratcher if I remember right.
But their star wide receiver is coming back and should be healthy, right, Millie?
Yeah, he's really good if he doesn't get hurt. That's for sure. He was out basically all year. He went out like week 2.
Yeah. He didn't get you didn't get a chance to really understand what he was going to do. And Scadaboo as well. He looked great. For he was on my fantasy team, and he did amazing things until he got super injured. Feels like there's stuff there to make it happen. I don't know. Feels like a really untenable situation for me, vibes wise.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know. It's such a tough. It seems like their players are kind of crazy concussion injury guys, and then John Harbaugh is like the old guy who who's like trying to calm the waters and be like the steady mind. So it doesn't really go together. I'm going to say that they don't make the playoffs, and I don't know if it's crash and burn or if it's, they're relevant the last couple of weeks. I don't know.
I don't like. When was the last time cantankerous old man came in to save the football team? I don't like.
When 2 years ago,
crotchety old. I mean, he didn't have the reputation. I feel like just like. I guess you maybe go back to the last Giants head coach who won a Super Bowl, right? What the fuck's his name? He was famously red-assed.
Fox? No.
I
know who you're
he was Panthers head coach at the Panthers. He was a Bill Parcells disciple.
Tom
Coughlin. Yes, thank you. Tom Coughlin. We eventually got 2 40-year-old brains fucking can get it done. Tom Coughlin, crotchety, old, yelly, screamy, kind of stern, shake a finger at you kind of guy, and he got it done. It just feels like maybe the wrong vibe for this team.
Yeah. So I don't know. We don't think they're going to be great.
I feel like Stefanski would have been a better fit here, honestly.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So are we done talking about the Giants?
Please.
Okay, let's talk about the Cowboys now.
Oh, man. Sorry, I regret it. Let's go back to talking about the Giants.
Do you dislike the Cowboys more than the Giants?
Do you like Brian? You want to have a lot of Brian Schottenheimer talk?
I do. I want to talk about who's why can't I think of the defensive?
Eberflus?
No, the defensive end that the Cowboys traded away to the Packers.
Oh, Parsons.
Michael Parsons.
He's got still injured. So he's still
Jerry Jones still alive?
He tis.
Okay.
He tis.
Okay. As long as he has control, they ain't gonna win a Super Bowl. That's all I'll say. Okay. Key additions. They got Rashawn Gary from the Packers. They got Sam Howell.
That'll do it.
All right.
That'll do it.
He's good. He's a good fill-in if Dak goes down.
I guess they think so.
Kobe Durant, and then they lost
Nobody to note.
some guys that aren't key players. So again, Dak had, I don't think he won the MVP, but he had an MVP caliber year last year, didn't he?
I mean, I guess he's a good quarterback. He's certainly better than I think anybody we talked about in the preceding division, except Baker. Who'd you rather have on your team, Baker Mayfield or Dak Prescott? Yeah, right.
I don't know. Good question.
Baker's got more playoff victories.
I feel like Baker Mayfield. I just think if they do have a good year and things come together, he has a better chance of actually winning a Super Bowl than Dak would. But
yeah, he's got funnier commercials, and I've seen him shotgun a beer. You know,
he's one of those guys who can open the hatch and
with his teeth.
Down,
yeah, just with his teeth. So I don't know. That's the kind of gritty grit I want in my QB. So I agree. I'd take Baker over Dak. Healthy Baker, but you know.
Yeah. A healthy Baker? Do those exist?
Seemingly not.
Okay, so the Cowboys, I don't know. I think Schottenheimer is actually a pretty good coach. And if their defense is decent, they're probably a playoff team. And that's kind of their ceiling, is like winning one playoff game is kind of their ceiling, I think.
Well, so if we think about it, you know, last year, the bottom team, the 17, was the Packers at 9-7-1. So you figure maybe there'll be a tie, but you figure 10 wins. You get to 10 wins in the NFC to make the playoffs. Is Dallas a 10-win team? Yeah, I guess
maybe
9-10 wins.
Not 11.
No,
maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
That's the thing. Like, yep. Even the team you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year, to say, are they going to win 11, 12 games? It's just not easy to do, right? So, I don't know. Yeah, I think they're somewhere like 7-10. Is there?
Yeah, that feels right. I feel like, yeah, 7-10. Maybe they're clumsy enough to get a tie in there, so you got 9-7-1. That's about right. Yes, but nothing greater than that, and so yes, maybe they're a wild card out.
All right, the Cowboys are who we thought they were. We got one team left. Oof. The Commanders. They did pick up, so they just signed Stephon Diggs within the last week because they were still talking about that not too long ago. So Diggs and McLaurin, provided Diggs is still, Diggs had a really good year last year. Obviously, the off-the-field stuff is a little tough to deal with, but Diggs and McLaurin, that's a very good one, too. Who did they lose? Lattimore?
Deebo Samuel's gone.
Deebo's gone. Who did Deebo end up with?
He went back to the Niners.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Deebo and Evans, and who else? Who was their number one last year? Ayuk is kind of a mess with what he's doing, but who was their...
Oh, in the Niners?
Yeah.
Who's the number one receiver? What is Ayuk?
No, he was like hurt most of last year.
I have no idea.
We're gonna do a quick jump to the Niners.
Sure. Go back.
Christian Kirk, Demarcus Robinson. Interesting. There had to have been someone else.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they didn't have one as that's part. They still won 12 games without a notable number one.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they didn't really have. They had what's his name?
Kittle.
Their third string receiver that ended up staying healthy and having a decent season, and then wanted to get paid. I don't even remember his name. This is a really good segment we're doing right now. It's called Guess Who the
We don't know. We're supposed to be talking about the NFC. year.
Oh, Pearsall. I forgot about Pearsall. And then Jawan Jennings is the other one.
Where's he now?
Jaquan?
Yes, sir.
Let's play Where Did They Land?
This is my favorite bit we do.
Jawan Jennings is a
Viking. Plays on your team.
All right. Go, Jawan. All right. Now we got to jump. Well, this is the last tangent we're going on. Vikings depth chart. I got to see who my receivers are. I haven't been paying close enough attention. I think Justin Jefferson's maybe the number one. Jefferson, Addison, Jennings.
That's a heck of a group.
And Ty Felton has been doing some cool things in training camp, I think. Yeah, I mean, Jefferson, Addison, Jennings. If Kyler Murray can throw them the ball, I mean, that looks decent. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. And then obviously the offensive line, if they can actually stay healthy. Darisaw was hurt like 14 games last year. All right. Enough with the Vikings. Okay. So, Commanders, are they going to bounce back or not?
I want to say no. And I really hate to be a Debbie Downer, but this feels a little bit like an RG3 situation all over it.
Yeah.
Because he looked terrific, and then he didn't. Had that injury. Now, again, Jaden Daniels' injury wasn't as stupidly delivered as RG3's was, but like I don't know, and I don't like the coach. I don't like the Dan Quinn. I didn't think that was a good hire to begin with. I have a real problem with retread coaches anyway. I don't care they make it to a Super Bowl. They're the reason they don't make it back. Or there's a reason they don't make it back. So I don't. And then why get rid of Cliff Kingsbury when he seemed to be working with Jaden Daniels? So they got rid of him. Was that just because he was being a little bitch? Because he kind of seems to be like maybe a little bitch. So that's kind of weird. This just feels like a team that might not know itself well enough to win sustainably.
All right, I'm going to go the other way. I think they will have a bounce back year. I think they make the playoffs. And then I think when you have Jaden Daniels on your team, if he's playing well, he's kind of you feel like he could beat anyone on a given night. And then, like McLaurin and Diggs, if they can keep those guys happy. Well, McLaurin's a lot easier to keep happy than Diggs, but yeah, I mean, I think they definitely could have a bounce back year. I don't know, like I think they might win the division. Like obviously the Eagles are always that like they're the favorite, I would say, but if my whole narrative about the Eagles kind of like falling apart comes to fruition, then I guess the Commanders are the team I think is going to be there to take over.
I agree with that. I think there's not a team I like better than the Commanders, other than the Eagles in this division.
But that's only because the other two teams you're really low on.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's right. I certainly don't think the Giants organizationally, historically, at least recent history, have shown enough for anybody to put faith in them. I think you can say the same thing about the Cowboys. And then, so if Jaden Daniels is what he was in his rookie season, then I mean, they could make it to the NFC Championship. Shit, they could make it to a Super Bowl probably if he plays that well. Certainly, that would be a spark, I think, to lead them past the Eagles. I don't know. He had an opportunity to carry that over last year, and he did not. There's some, because he was injured too, though, for some of last year as well, right?
He was, for a lot of it, and then they just shut him down.
Yeah,
he kept getting injured.
Right. So, I think the challenge with him is his style of play does like to run and mix it up, but he's a slight fellow. Even though he is tall, he is a slender man. He is not a Roethlisberger or a Cam Newton or, one of those larger, sturdier dudes who can, has a lot of beef to him.
He ain't got the beef.
He doesn't.
He's got the string.
He does. He's a bit of a string beef, but just throws a magic deep ball. You know what I mean? So, and it just ends up in the receiver's hand in stride, and then it's a touchy down. So if they can recreate that, yes, if he can stay healthy, this is probably maybe the division winner in spite of Dan Quinn, but I still think it's probably the Eagles.
All right. Real quick, I'm just trying to think who are the Super Bowl favorites? You said the Rams,
yes,
probably in the NFC, and
you got I mean, the Seahawks, right? You got to put them there, right? For having won it all.
I guess, but like, I don't know. It's
Contenders?
just too hard to do. It's not like they have Tom Brady and like they just expect to win everything and like they don't care that everyone's gunning for him this year. I don't know. Like, but yeah, I mean, certainly like
Preseason, yeah, you have to.
They're going to have a lot of continuity, so sure, but I don't see it happening.
How about the Patriots?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you have to go that way. But so last year, the Patriots, remember, were they the one seed? I don't even know.
No, so this is the other. What about the Broncos? Because had Bo Nix not broken his ankle or whatever, and that's in the last 2 seconds of that dumb game, they probably beat the Patriots, and they're the in Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we got it. We'll get to them next week or the following week. Yeah, I mean, with Peyton and Nix, like, I got to think they're going to be decent. I don't know. For some reason, I don't have their back. I don't want them to do well.
All right, it's just because we've done the NFC, so we can just stick at the. We can just stick up at the NFC favorites. Got to have the Rams, right? Right. We should have the Seahawks just because they're the defending champs. We have two more. Two more. Honest. It doesn't care what division they're from.
Well, you're a Bears fan.
I need to see 8 games of performance to say either way what the hell that team is. They need to speak up on the field.
Talked to someone who went to training camp yesterday, and he said they were looking pretty good.
I don't care what happens on non-games. Got to see what's on the field on Sunday.
I don't know. I mean, the Niners seem like they get to the Super Bowl every 3 or 4 years, so they still have a ton of talent.
Concerning things about Kyle Shanahan's head injury and him having a lot of issues with just normal everyday stuff.
Seriously?
Yes.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
He had a pretty severe concussion, and some of the things that I've heard, this is listening to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. So I'm regurgitating something else said, but they're closer to it than I am, that he can't make a decision about what he wants for lunch. He gets angry or frustrated when a lot of people talk at him at the same time. He can't manage like a lot of input at the same time. He's struggling. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like almost like
all the things you need to be able to do as a football coach.
You might not fully recover from it. I got to look into that. It's interesting. Yeah, that changes things a lot.
Well, I don't, it's a concussion, so maybe it does go away over time, right? I don't know if it's permanent damage, but that it may take him months to get to the cognitive function he had before that injury.
It's crazy. Because like in my mind, it was like, yeah, it was an accident, kind of like a fairly bad accident. But I didn't think he was going to have like long-term issues because of it. But I hadn't looked into it close either.
Yeah, so again, what I heard one podcast, though, those people are again professionals, and I know that's what they're saying. He was cognitive functional things. That's not.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not the Niners.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you're absent that. You're absolutely right. The Niners, they won 12 games last year, like sort of secretly, without like great wide receiver talent, and I think McCaffrey was healthy. That was beneficial to them.
All right, so we're done with the South and the East.
And the NFC.
Next week we'll pick 2 divisions from the AFC and run through it for you. Watch the Panthers and Cardinals tonight, at least for a little bit. I don't know, maybe a couple starters will play or something. Football's back, even if it's the preseason. We have whatever 5 weeks, I think, until the first Wednesday game between the Patriots and Seahawks. Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday. I don't know if they're going to do Wednesday games throughout the year or just the first one, but
don't kill the golden goose, NFL. Come on, man. Keep it simple. Go Vikings! Go Bears.